for 4 hours. And he's here with the inside scoop. All right, so Tom, take us through this like a story. How did this start?
So I get home from significant skin cancer surgery. I'm lying on the couch recovering. And in the evening, knock, 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 a few hours after I get home, knock, knock, knock. 2 FBI agents are at the door with a subpoena for me to testify to the grand jury about presumably this Mar-a-Lago issue. Although the FBI agents helpfully noted that I did have an Amazon package there on the porch as well. And then, a few months later, they said, well, I can come in for a proffer. And then all of a sudden, no proffer. You got to come in for the grand jury, which is very unusual. So I end up going to the grand jury. And just before I go into the grand jury the day before, they said, oh, by the way, we want to ask you a little bit about this January 6th stuff, too.
Oh, you got the twofer, Jan 6 and Mar-a-Lago docs.
Go in there, 23 or so grand jurors, 3 prosecutors, all tag teaming me, questioning me. And of course, just you go in there, you're thinking, well, maybe there's something here. And they're going to ask me, did you see this? And you're going to be like, holy moly, there's a crime. But instead, it was a 4-hour MSNBC-style struggle session where they're arguing with me about tweets and electors and the Clinton sock drawer case and what I had for lunch at the White House. And I thought, what a waste of time. And of course, it's intense, right? Because you're going back and forth. And I look over at one of the grand jurors, and the poor guy's dead asleep.
This is a D.C. grand jury?
It is. It is. I mean, generally, they were paying attention, but I didn't want to listen to myself after 4 hours of really silly argument and debate over, these issues that, as we're hearing, from your prior discussion here, that are very controversial. They targeted Judicial Watch. They targeted me because we were front and center in saying the emperor has no clothes when it comes to the abuse of Trump on this Mar-a-Lago documents case, because we had fought on the same issue, the Clinton sock drawer case, and they changed their position 180 degrees. They protected Clinton's ability to take records, but raided Trump. And we highlighted that because we were in the middle of it. We had litigated the case and lost. And so we're making public disclosures about this, alerting the president about this, telling the American people about this, suing about this, and what we get in return? A grand jury subpoena. And you can imagine just how much money it costs to deal with document production and lawyers and all that.
Did you ever tell them what you had for dinner at the White House?
Yeah, there was, so they wanted to know what I said to Trump at one lunch, and then, and what was his reaction. I couldn't remember his reaction. And they said, well, had you had any other lunches? And I said, I don't think so. And I said, wait, we did have another lunch because I remember what we ate. And then they got all upset with me. Well, you remember what you ate, but you don't remember what was said. And I'm thinking, this is just theater of the absurd.
They're going to hit you with a perjury charge because you forgot you had filet mignon.
That's right. Well, this is a federal grand jury investigating a former president of the United States on flimsy charges. And I can see, it's one thing Judicial Watch investigates government corruption, but we're a victim of government corruption in that circumstance. And I tell you, one of the other things that was not funny was one of the prosecutors said, are you going to talk about this? And he asked me 3 times. I said, I don't know. And he said, oh, well, by the way, you're able to talk about it if you want to. And I said to him, well, given the tone of your questions, I don't know if I would want to. And it's chilling. So, you got these questions that were designed, obviously, to scare me from talking. And this is abuse of power, a fishing expedition. I tell you, it was as political as anything you'd see at a DNC convention.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, I'm glad you're talking about it on Jesse Watters Primetime. And you're a brave man. And thank you for everything you've done and everything Judicial Watch has done, because you guys have been getting records that people haven't been able to get for about 3 decades. So thank you very much, Tom.